I'm Lauren Green, and you're in the Strategy Room. President Obama is facing new criticism over his foreign policy, this time from his predecessor, George W. Bush. Bloomberg View is reporting in a closed-door meeting with Jewish donors Saturday night that Bush went after the Obama administration's handling of both Iran and ISIS, saying the current president is a bit naive. Here with reaction are political strategists Chuck Rocha and Katrina Pierson. Katrina, welcome to you both. But I want to start with you because usually presidents, former presidents do not criticize presidents in office because they know how difficult the job is. And with that in mind, your reaction to President Bush's comments. Katrina?
Yes. Well, first I'd like to say that it's not really a criticism. I think President Bush is really stating the obvious here. I mean, when you have a president who in the past says we need to shut down these underground facilities and Iran is dangerous with a nuclear weapon, if he believes that, then he is in fact naive when you have Iran that is funding all the terrorism around the world to infuse $130 billion into that economy without essentially any concessions, I think is naive.
Okay, and Chuck, your reaction.
Well, I don't think he meant for these to go live. I think that it was a private fundraiser. These comments were leaked as of the stories this morning. I do commend President Bush, which I've never commended him on anything, of keeping his mouth quiet and showing the due respect to the office as he should. And he has. And he was at a private fundraiser where you throw red meat to funders to get a reaction that you want, and that reaction you want backers are for people to write checks. So I think that this wasn't meant to be public. He's had every opportunity to be in the press or to be on newspaper interviews to say something, and he hasn't. So I don't think that this was intentional.
Well, but, with that in mind, though, Chuck, is Bush right on Obama's foreign policy record?
No, he's not right. I mean, every president tries to do the best job that they can to protect America. George Bush sent us into war where 5,000 of our sons and daughters were killed to look for weapons of mass destruction that were never there. He had the most horrendous record of any president in the history of this country, and right now he should be back in President Obama's play to keep our men and women safe.
And what is your take, Katrina? Was Bush right on Obama's foreign policy record?
He absolutely was right. President Bush would have never traded terrorist for a deserter, number one. Number two, we are in more wars now than we were under George Bush, and Americans felt a lot safer with Bush at the top than they do with Obama, and those are simply just facts.
But Katrina, the critics are saying, though, that Bush has no standing after his presidency, and then that's part of the issue. That's why you don't say anything. What do you say to that?
Well, I mean, I think like Chuck said, these were private comments at a private event. He didn't go out there and give his evaluation in front of the public. So I do think he has every right as a previous president out there doing a fundraiser for his party to make those kinds of remarks because they're simply true.
Okay. And Chuck, let me give you the last word on this.
Look, it's the hardest job. I wouldn't want this job to be the president. When you get into these these skirmishes around the country, it hardly ever ends in a good way. I think that's why you have such a robust anti-war element within our own democracy. At the end of the day, I don't think these were made to be public, and I think it's a hard job, and who be us to be throwing rocks at somebody out there trying to do the right thing to protect all of us.
All right. I want to thank you for both Chuck and Katrina. Check out foxnews.com for more on this developing story. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.